Welcome back to my channel. Good news, this may be the very last upload of me wearing these dorky glasses, so everybody give a round of applause because I am so excited. What is going on? That was weird. But yes, my LASIK eye surgery is in 5 days. So this may be the last upload you guys see me in these. I am super terrified, extremely nervous. And when I was first told that I had to wear glasses for 30 days leading up to the surgery, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do many YouTube videos because these glasses are just so dorky. And then I was so nervous and terrified of the surgery, I caught myself distracting myself from the surgery by uploading a lot of YouTube videos. So if you guys have seen a lot of uploads lately, that's why. I am just kind of avoiding all of my nerves. So yeah, super scared. But anyways, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm assuming this video is going to bring about some new faces. So welcome. There's plenty of room for everybody. I look like a striped tiger.
What is happening, sunshine?
Is this a good look? Maybe some cheetah print. There's my cheetah print. I cannot. Please avoid my amateur YouTuber-ness. I don't know how to fix lighting. I don't have those fancy ring circle lights. But anyways, if you're new here, my name is Heaven. Yes, that's my real birth name. I am a recent licensed CPA for the state of Tennessee. I got licensed July 31st, and man, has it been such a wonderful, joyous life since the exam, because oh my gosh, that was the worst time of my life, no exaggeration. Let me show you guys this blanket that my mom got made for me. I love it so much. I showed it to the vlog last week, but you guys may not have watched it. Look at this, you guys. So it's literally my license as a blanket. It's this really good quilty material with the frayed edges. And it's literally my license, my name, my license number, the signatures. So mom scanned in my CPA license with a company called collage.com and got that made on there. So not sponsored whatsoever, just really love the blanket. So if you guys want to do that, feel free. I've been asked so many times to take the time to sit down and talk about the licensing process that I went through after passing the CPA exams. And I have sat down probably 3 times to film this video, and it was so boring I literally could not upload it. Like, it was just such dry material. But anyways, you guys don't care, you just want the information. So every single state is different, and there are 55 state boards of accountancy in the US. Obviously the 50 states, there's 5 extras like the US Virgin Islands, the Mariana Islands, random in Puerto Rico maybe. So every single state does their licensing different because you get your CPA license through that state. But NASBA is the national regulators of the CPA exam itself. So all of the 55 state boards of accountancy have adopted the uniform CPA exam from NASBA. As if that's not really confusing enough, within each state you have your own department of whatever the state calls it. Tennessee calls it the Department of Commerce and Insurance. That's where our CPA license actually comes from. So not only do I have to be a part of the TSCPA, the Tennessee Society of CPAs, but I also have to get my license through the Tennessee Commerce and Insurance. And then I have to pass all the exams through NASBA, which is a national organization. Fun fact, NASBA's headquarters are actually in Nashville, Tennessee. So found that out recently. I'm gonna have to quit talking with my hands. I'm already annoying myself. First step in getting licensed is to pass the 4 CPA exams. Again, check your state on the requirements to get to that level. I've had tons and tons and tons and tons and tons, like hundreds of questions, candidates for the CPA that live in India asking me questions about how it's gonna work as far as what state they should pick on their licensing, where they should live, where they should move, how they can be CPA licensed from India but still be a US CPA. I don't know the answer to any of those questions. I am not at all equipped with how the CA equivalency is in India. And I would also recommend, if any of you out there were CAs or are CAs in India, a chartered accountant, and you're going through the US CPA process here in the States, to start a YouTube channel, because I have gotten so many questions that I can't answer. I don't want to take the time to do all this research, no offense. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent, but there are a lot of people out there wondering how the CPA works from India to the US. So if you know the answers to those questions, let's start a YouTube channel. I will direct the questions I get to you so they can have their questions answered. Anyways, you have passed all 4 CPA exams. You then go to NASBA.org and check your state to make sure that you have the employment experience requirement. It's different for every state. Again, I can only speak for Tennessee. I don't know the rules of the other states, but we have to be employed underneath a CPA for exactly a year. I think it's like 2,000 hours if you want to be technical with it, before we can be licensed as a CPA. But go to NASBA.org, click on your state. It'll tell you exactly the education requirements, the amount of credit hours you have to get per each subject in school, and then you can take your CPA exams, and then how long you have to work under a CPA, if you have to take the ethics exam or not. Some states have a state ethics exam. Tennessee adopted the AICPA's ethics exam, so it's kind of like a national level, but anywho, know your requirements ahead of time. So after I passed all CPA exams, I then wanted to start the ethics exam process. So I went to the TSCPA, that's our Tennessee Society of CPAs. I went to that website and found how to purchase the study materials for the ethics exam. And it was actually the AICPA's study materials. I think the TSCPA does have a separate amount, but somehow I ended up on the AICPA website again. So I bought my materials through the TSCPA. It was $125, and then did the whole 8-hour-ish program of listening to lectures, and then it gave you the ethics exam at the very end of all the lectures. I did a whole YouTube video of me taking the ethics exam, so I'll link that above if you guys are unfamiliar with how it works. When I purchased the ethics exam, it told me which browser I could use on the internet. It told me I needed to score 90%. You have unlimited retakes, but you don't get to see like the answers you got wrong, so you kind of just have to know in your head which ones you didn't feel right about and change the answer. So it took me like 3 or 4 times to take the ethics exam, but anyways, it's not that difficult of an exam, but it is kind of nitpicky. You guys will get it, don't worry. With the TSCPA, once I bought the materials, it actually was being processed, and within about 24, 48 hours, so 1 or 2 days, that's when they actually sent me an email link where I could download the materials and actually start the ethics exam. I couldn't start it immediately, so keep that in mind. I was actually in this weird point of I just passed the exam, so I was leaving for vacation the next week. So I actually purchased those things, went on vacation for a week, then came back and did the ethics. So I was not really in that big of a time crunch. I was just glad I got the exams out of the way. But many of you are waiting on raises and promotions at work, so you want to get licensed as soon as possible. So just know ahead of time it may take a couple days to process your ethics course materials before you can even start taking the ethics exam. Sorry, I'm all stuffy. I definitely am coming down with a cold and I'm trying to hide it. Once you take the ethics exam, it will give you a certificate in a PDF, so make sure you save that to your computer. You do not want to lose that certificate. It says like, congratulations, you passed, this was your score. And it automatically sent it for me from the TSCPA to the AICPA. So they told me that it was automatically sent, so I didn't have to send anything manually. Your state may make you, it just depends again, but make sure you have a copy of that certificate because you may need it in case they say they never got it. You want to make sure that you have proof that you passed it. Then after that step, it told me to wait like 3 to 5 days, that I'll get a packet in the mail about what to do next after the ethics exam. However, I was impatient at that point. I also kind of misunderstood what the packet in the mail meant because I was like, why are you sending snail mail? This is 2019. Like, can you not send me an email? But I was lucky because one of my best friends, Laura, was actually getting licensed through Tennessee only a couple days before I was. So she was like 1 step ahead of the whole process the whole time I was going through it. So she helped me a lot on knowing what to do next. So she told me to go ahead and create an account with our Tennessee Commerce and Insurance website. So I did, and it allowed me to go ahead and start attaching my certificate of completion for the ethics exam that I passed it. Also my employment experience form through my employer. One of my supervisors had to sign a form saying yes, she's worked here for over a year under a CPA. So she sent me that, and then I attached that to my profile. So after I'm attaching these forms to my profile on the Commerce and Insurance website through Tennessee, I actually called the Tennessee State Board of Accountancy to make sure that they were getting my ethics exam, that they processed my CPA exams, and that they actually sent a packet in the mail because I didn't get anything in the mail. It's been over a week. I'm like, what's going on? You know, whatever. And the guy was actually on vacation for 2 weeks, so I had to wait 2 weeks for him to get off vacation. Then I got an email out of the blue randomly from somebody at the Tennessee Board of Accountancy saying that I did not meet the education requirements, that I didn't have enough credit hours to be a licensed CPA, but that they would hold my passing scores of the CPA exam until I finished the education requirement. And I was like, bull crap, I know for sure I have 150 credits. And so I was on the phone with her like back and forth for a couple days, emailing back and forth, and then she got her supervisor involved. Basically, long story short, they were trying to charge me another $200 for this fee to send my education through another council of people to double check my education. I was like, well, who said I don't have 150 credits? And they were like, this council did. And I'm like, so I'm paying $200 more for the same people to recount my education? I was like, if they say no the first time, they're gonna say no the second time. And then she didn't really know what to say with that. And I was getting really irritated because of obviously all the work I just went through to get my CPA, and I know I have 150 credits. So the next day she calls me back and she was like, I've recounted all your credit hours and it turns out we were wrong. We counted 149, you actually have 150. So we'll waive the fee. I'll go ahead and process your application. You're free to go ahead and start uploading stuff to this website. She didn't know I already had the stuff uploaded to that website, thanks to Laura. It was a whole mess, but at least I didn't have to pay the $200 fee. However, the whole licensing fee of Tennessee was $100 too. So not only did I just pay $125 to pay for my ethics exam, then I had to pay $100 for my licensing fee, and they were trying to get $200 more out of me to recount my credits. So it's a lot of money, so be prepared. They will nickel and dime you to death. But anyways, the day that they went ahead and moved my application through the credit hour hang up, and since I already had my employment form and my ethics exam in the profile, I actually got licensed that day that they pushed it through the system. So that was July 31st, 2019. And then they sent me an email back saying, congratulations, you're now a CPA with Tennessee. Here's your license number. And they gave me a little tiny like PDF printout piece of paper just saying this is to certify all the requirements of state of Tennessee have been met. And that was like the best day ever because then it was finally officially official. So within the next month after receiving that, I got a lot of things in the mail. I got an AICPA congratulations letter. I got a NASBA congratulations letter. I got a TSCPA membership certificate saying I'm now a member of the Tennessee Society of CPAs. A lot of you may already be members of your societies. I, however, was not. I was a member when I was in college because it was free, but then as an adult, I was like, I'm not paying any extra fee. So personally, I was not a member until I actually became a CPA. They sent me a little cardstock CPA license in the mail that goes in your wallet, and then also a cardstock piece of paper about yay big of the actual date saying that it expires on December 31st, 2019. So then last week, I actually renewed my CPA license for 2 years, more money. I had to renew it since it expired in December. And the reason it does that, this is a Tennessee thing. I don't know if it's like this with every state, but in an odd year, so 2019 is when I got my license, that is when your license expires. So then you renew your license and you're good for 2 more years. It's really weird. So basically, if you would have been a licensed CPA in November or December of this year, you would literally pay $100, $200 to get your license, but then have to pay another $100 to renew it for the next year. It's, you know, you gotta time it right in a perfect world, but sometimes you just want to be licensed and you don't really care. So in summary, NASBA.org to check all of your state requirements, to know your education and employment requirements before you even sit for the CPA exams. There are also different requirements for taking the CPA exam than being a licensed CPA. Some states make it be one and the same. Some states may actually make you work for a year before you can even take the exams. I don't really know. I could see how that could be a thing. But make sure you know the difference between actually applying for the CPA license and applying for the CPA exams. 2 different requirements. Then after you go there and you have everything met, see if you have to take an ethics exam. I took the ethics exam through the TSCPA, but it's actually through the AICPA nationally. Once you're done with the ethics exam, you can now apply for your state board accountancy. And that's gonna be different with every state. Again, I've said that a million times. But make sure that you have everything uploaded on a profile. So the whole licensing process is literally a disaster. It's very unclear, it's very vague. No one really tells you what to do. Anyone that I ask that I know are CPAs, I'm like, so where do I go? They're like, oh, I don't really remember. And if you would have asked me where do I go, I would literally have to look at my notes to remember where I went after I passed the CPA exams, because I dealt with like 4 or 5 different boards. Like, it is such a mess. So be prepared for a lot of lag time. I actually got lucky and I was licensed within about 2 or 3 weeks from passing the exam, from passing the ethics exam, and I waited to take the ethics exam a week after I've passed all the exams just because of that vacation that I took. But I was lucky and mine moved really quick, so I'm thankful for that. Blessed. Also, I think because I'm a state employee, that lady, when she got my email, I emailed her from my work email and it said like legislative auditor. She was like on top of it really quick and emailed me back. So I don't know, maybe she emails everyone really fast, but I thought that was kind of funny. I'm like, lady, I'm not auditing you. It's okay. I'm just a candidate trying to get my license. Trying to be a big girl, put my big girl pants on. But once you are a licensed CPA, you no longer have to deal with NASBA ever again. Screw NASBA. You will then be dealing with your state society of CPAs and your state board of accountancy. So let's say you go commit a bunch of fraud, steal a bunch of money. Your state board is the one that is able to take away your license or put you on probation or make you pay a ton of money, fines. NASBA has nothing to do with that. They are just regulators of the CPA exam itself. Sometimes people get that a little misconstrued. But yeah, I hope this video helps you guys figure out the whole licensing process with your CPA. Obviously, I feel like California, New York, Texas, bigger states with a higher population, especially a higher, wealthier population, maybe a bit slower on the licensing process. You would hope they would have a whole lot more employees. So here is my CPA license. Not that you guys care, but this is my precious baby. I got this frame for about $6. It looks real fancy, but I'm cheap. But yeah, it's so pretty. This is my dinner date every day. And also my blanket. This is literally what my blanket is. It's a replica. It's just so cool. Like, Mom blew me away with that gift, I will tell you. What I just break. Alright, you guys, hopefully that video helped you guys. Comment below if you have any questions. I can try and answer them. But if you are an international candidate asking about how it works internationally, I have absolutely no idea. I only know how it works in the US. There are different requirements for international candidates. I would go ahead and direct you to go to NASBA.org with any of your exam questions, because their website is really laid out very clearly with each of the states. Like when I click Tennessee, it tells me my requirements for sitting for the CPA exam, and then underneath it, requirements for being a licensed CPA. So start with NASBA. You can always email the state boards. They will probably not get back with you very quickly. If you have any questions, I personally would just call them. It's a lot quicker, but if you want to email them, they can answer your questions too. But anyways, I'm getting distracted and making this video longer than it has to be, so thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.